Hello internet friends. In this video I am going to start work on the tail cone. If you watched the previous video, I realized that the fuel valve that I ordered has the wrong fittings. So I got up early and I called Adair, or Adair. Actually, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but anyway, they're in England. So it's like 8 hours difference or something like that. So when it was 8 a.m. here, it was 4 p.m. over there when I called. And I ordered the right fittings, which actually I ordered online, and I decided I wanted to make a change. So there's two different types of fittings. You can have a 90-degree elbow, which is what I need, because instead of pointing straight out, it needs to point backwards. And they also have a banjo fitting, which you can rotate 360 degrees. So you can make it 90 degrees or 45 degrees, and that's actually what I need for the return fuel line. So I can have both the forward-facing fittings pointing downward, because it's going to come from the firewall and go to the firewall from the fuel pump. So anyway, I know that's hard to visualize without a reference. And anyway, I don't know what it is about the British accent, but just sounds like poetry to me. When I changed my order, then I was like, do you have anything else you could read to me? Maybe some spreadsheets or something, an Excel file. Just don't stop. Yeah, so is that in your DNA? Maybe that's in your DNA. Maybe I have British DNA, and that's what resonates there. I don't know. That's just something. So anyway, starting on the tail cone, and first thing I had to do is find the correct parts. So you can see I got them from where I stored them. And of course, there was one tiny part, actually two tiny parts that I couldn't find. There are on the first page of the plans. So there's a little tiny piece of plastic that you make cable guides out of. And there's a little tiny skin stiffener. And I'm pretty sure that I could have made both, because in the front of the plans, there's a list of the materials that they use, right? So if you have the sizes, you can figure out how to fabricate those. And the stiffener shouldn't be too hard to fabricate, because it's just a piece of bent aluminum in an L shape. But anyway, I didn't have to end up doing that because I found the pieces. And right when I was ready to give up, of course, that's when I found the last piece. So we are going back to basics, where we just pull off the blue vinyl and we deburr the parts, and then we basically are going to dimple them if they require dimples, or final drill them, or whatever they require. Then we're going to prime them. So let's see, do I have any updates? Now, today was a pretty busy day at work. I worked pretty much all the way till the end of the day. And then I was like, I'm too lazy to go build a plane. And then I thought, nope, I'm going to do my 1 hour a day, which I think I put in 1.5 hours. So I'm going to call that a success. And I got, 3 parts deburred. So good job, me. Oh, one more thing about the Adair valve. So there was a question about why this valve, and it's the SFS 2020, I think, if you go look on Adair's website. Oh, so the reason is, if you read the EFII electronic fuel injection manual, that's the valve it says to use. So that's why I'm going to use that valve. And what it actually does is it has 2 sets of valves in one case, right? So when you turn the lever, it turns both the valves open and closed. And that's so it selects both send and return fuel lines. So if you're, pulling from the right tank, it puts the return fuel in the right tank. And if you're pulling from the left, it puts the return fuel in the left. So that way you can't accidentally overfill a tank, right, by sending the return to the wrong place. So that's why you need the duplex fuel valve. And I actually talked to the lady from Andair, and I was like, well, how much is it for the fittings? And it was like 100 something. I was like, well, how much is it for the fittings and the valve? And it was like 400 something, which is cheaper than buying the wrong part from Spruce. But then she was like, okay, we could do that, but it's an 8-week lead time. And I was like, oh, never mind. I'll just take the fittings, because she said they were ready to ship right now. So I should have those in a few days. Hopefully I'm along with the Tailcone by then. But that happens sometimes in aviation, right? You trade time for money. Like, oh, I can have this now, but it's more money, but I won't have to wait for it. Which if I had planned in advance, then I could have saved a couple $100. But right now, a couple $100 isn't worth it for me to have to delay 8 weeks. So anyway, come chat RVs with us at this band Slack group. The link is in the description, and in the next video, more Tailcone.